Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah wa ba'd. So we continue with our study of Jawami Al-Akhbar, the Shaykh Al-Allam Abdul Rahman ibn Nasir al-Sa'di alayhi rahmatullah. We have reached Al-Hadithu Al-Khamis Ashar, the 15th narration. And this narration it comes عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أنزلوا الناس منازلهم. He said, or that Aisha, is reported from Aisha رضي الله عنها, that the Prophet عليه الصلاة is reported to have said, أنزلوا الناس منازلهم, put the people in their proper, give them their proper status, give everyone their proper status. Hadith reported by Abu Dawood. Now this narration, it is not the strongest of narrations. In fact, Shaykh Al-Albani alayhi rahmatullah, ضعفه, he has declared it to be weak inside of his book Silsila Al-Da'ifa. As-Sa'di alayhi rahmatullah, however, he brings it inside of this book Jawami Al-Akhbar, and he explains this narration inside of his explanation for his own book Bahja Qulub Al-Abrar. And so he mentions in his explanation, يا له من حديث حكيم, he said this no doubt is a tremendous or wise hadith. فيه الحث لأمته على مراعاة الحكمة. In this narration lies an encouragement to his ummah for observing wisdom. فإن الحكمة وضع الأشياء مواضعها. Because hikmah, what is hikmah? It is to put things in their proper places. Hikmah is to put things in their proper places, just as dhulm or oppression is to put something in other than its proper place, right? And so this is why Allah Ta'ala mentions in the shirk la dhulmun alim, because indeed shirk is a tremendous form of dhulm. Why? Because you are putting worship where worship should not go. When you render worship to other than your Lord, other than your Creator, you're putting worship where worship should not go. So therefore it is an act of oppression. If a person has more than one spouse, for example, and you take the right away from one spouse and give it to another, right? Then you're giving the right to one who does not have that right. This is oppression, putting something in other than its proper place. Whereas hikmah, wisdom, is putting everything in its proper place. So this narration, it contains an encouragement upon that, giving the people their proper statuses. And so he says, Wallahu ta'ala hakimun fi khalqihi. And Allah Azza wa Jal, He is wise within His creation, wa taqdirihi, and His decree, wa hakimun fi shar'ihi wa amrihi wa nahyi. He is wise in His legislation, in His commands, and His prohibitions. قد أمر عباده بالحكمة, and He has commanded His servants as well to observe wisdom and to have wisdom, and for them to utilize this wisdom in all things. وأوامر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وإرشاداته كلها تدور على الحكمة. And even the commands of the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم and his directives, they all of them center and revolve around the affair of wisdom. فمنها هذا الحديث الجامع. And from the examples of that, those directives of the Prophet عليه السلام that contain wisdom, is this narration, this comprehensive narration. إذ أمر أن ننزل الناس منازلهم. For in this narration, the Prophet commands عليه السلام, based upon the narration, for us to put the people in their proper positions and statuses. وذلك في جميع المعاملات. And that is in all of our interactions and dealings with each other. Everyone must be given their right. Every ذو حق, every person who has a right should be given their right. Now, he says, وَجَمِيعَ الْمُخَاطَبَاتِ, and everyone should be addressed and spoken to with that which is appropriate for their status and their position. وَتَعَلُّمْ وَتَعْلِيمٌ, and what is appropriate for their level of teaching or learning or whatever position they may be in. وَمِنْ ذَلِكَ أَنَّ النَّاسَ قِسْمَانِ, and from this there are the people they are of two types or two categories. قِسْمٌ لَهُمْ حَقٌّ خَاصٌ, one category of people has a specific right that's due to them, right? They have a specific right that are due to them, such as what enters into this group are your parents, for example. Your parents have a right that is specific to them. والأولاد, your children, have a right that is specific to them. والأقارب, your relatives, have a right that is specific to them. Well, jiran, your neighbors as well, have a right that is specific to them. Your companions, right? This is different than like your companions, your friends. Right? We may have our brothers. Generally speaking, the Muslims have rights over us. But then your friends from amongst the brothers have an increase, a special right, the right of friendship, the Islamic friendship, which is over and above the right of just regular brotherhood. Every Muslim on the face of the earth is your brother, right? They have the right to the salams. They have the right to, certain things from you. But your friend amongst the brothers, your special companion, he has an increased right. And likewise, the ulama, the scholars, they have a right. The scholars have a right that needs to be observed. وَالْمُحْسِنِينَ بِحَسَبْ إِحْسَانِهِمْ الْعَامِ وَالْخَاص. And likewise, those people in general who you know are good people, the good doers, the good people, they have a right that is in proportion to their level of goodness, whether it is a general type of goodness that you find from them or a specific goodness that you find with them. وَهَذَا قِسْمٌ تَنْزِيلُهُمْ وَنَازِلُهُم. And so this category of people who have special and specific rights, then to put them in their proper places and positions entails al-qiyam bihuquqihim al-ma'rufa shar'an wa urfa, is to establish their rights, to give them their rights which are known legislatively and by way of custom. Because those things that is from the mahasin of our religion, from the good characteristics of our religion, it's those things that are culturally considered to be good in every culture. That as long as it does not contradict and conflict with the teachings of Islam, then Islam, it okays those traditions and those cultures, right? As long as it does not contradict our religion. Now, ومن البر أو من البر والصلة والإحسان والتوقير والوفاء والمواساة, and that is from kindness and goodness. For example, when we're speaking about parents, they've had the right to what's called al-bir, righteousness and goodness towards our parents. It looks a certain way, right? It doesn't, it's different from how goodness to the parents look to the non-Muslims. For goodness to the parents, to the non-Muslims, it comes about once a year. All right, once a year you're going to observe and shower gifts upon your mother. And then the father, he gets a tie or a pair of socks or something like that, one day out of the year. Right? But goodness to the parents in Islam is every day of your life. Every day of your life, you are to honor them, to show them respect. It doesn't matter what your status is, if you are a poor person or if you're a billionaire or if you're a president or a leader. And if you have parents in Islam, they have a right over you. They have the right to be listened to and obeyed and respected. So bir, likewise as-sila, in relation to your relatives, joining the ties of kinship, connecting with them, looking after their needs wherever possible, asking about their affairs, and like this. Wal-ihsan, goodness and kindness to everyone. Goodness and kindness even to animals. They have a right over us. Wa-tawqir, respect, right? That those who there are a class of people who we have to respect. Our elders, the ulama, the scholars, our teachers, the students of knowledge, the imams of the masajid, they are due our respect. Now, wal-wafa, those rights that we have to fulfill, like rights of the spouses and the likes of this. You have to fulfill the rights of your wife. The wife has to fulfill the rights of her husband. Now, and goodness in that general type of goodness and kindness. وَجَمِيعْ مَا لَهُم مِّنَ الْحُقُوقِ, and observing all which they have of rights. فَهَؤُلَاء يُمَيِّزُونَ عَنْ غَيْرِهِمْ بِهَذِهِ الْحُقُوقِ الْخَاصَّةِ. So these people are distinguished from other than them with these specific rights that they are due. So for example, you don't treat the alim min ulama sunnah like you treat the layperson, right? The scholar from the scholars of sunnah, you're going to treat him different than you treat the layperson, right? You're going to speak to him different than you would speak to a layperson, right? And deal with them differently. Your parents, you deal with them differently than you're going to deal with somebody who you just meeting off the street, right? And your brothers, your friends and your companions amongst the Muslims, you deal with them differently than you deal with those who don't have that same level of companionship with you. All right, there's nothing strange about that. So that first category of people, you're going to treat them and deal with them differently. They have a level of distinguishment over other than them amongst the people. Now, وَقِسْمٌ لَيْسَ لَهُمْ مَزِيَّةٌ اخْتِصَاص بِحَقٍّ خَاصٍ. And then you have another category of people that they don't have necessarily something that distinguishes them from anyone else, who fits their category or fits their description. إنما لهم حق الإسلام وحق الإنسانية, but rather they have the general right of Islam and the general right of humanity, right? And so he says, فهؤلاء حقهم المشترك. So these people, their right is a right that is shared, is a right that they have and other people who are similar to them or in the same category has as well. Now, he says, and it is that أن تمنع عنهم الأذى والضرر بقول أو فعل, that you withhold harm from them, right? You withhold harm from them and irritation from them in statement or action. You don't go around just slandering people. You don't go around just backbiting people and harming people with your tongue. You don't go around physically harming others, right? Everyone should be able to get that right from you. Now, as the Prophet Muhammad mentioned, alayhi salam, al-Muslimu man salama muslimun min lisanihi wa yadihi, that the Muslim is the one who other Muslims are safe from his tongue and from his hand. Every Muslim should be safe from your tongue and your hand. It doesn't have to be like your friends and companions. It doesn't have to be an alim, ulama, sunnah, or a student of knowledge, or your parents. Everyone who's Muslim should be able to be safe from your hand and from your tongue. Every Muslim. Now, so it's the general right that he's speaking about. He says that, and that you love للمسلمين ما تحب لنفسك من الخير, that you love for the Muslims that which you love for yourself of goodness. وتكره لهم ما تكره لها من الشر, that you hate for the Muslims that which you hate for yourself from evil. بل يجب منع الأذى عن جميع نوع الإنسان وصال ما تقدر عليه لهم من الإحسان. He says, rather, it is obligatory that you withhold from harming all of humanity. You don't just walk around harming people. The Muslim is not one that walks around committing harm, whether verbal harm or physical harm to people, even if they are not Muslims. Right? We don't harm even the non-Muslims. We respect them, and we have a level of humanity within ourselves that makes us withhold from harming them. And likewise, that you make whatever you can of goodness and kindness reach them. We see somebody, we see the old lady, she may be a non-Muslim trying to walk into the door of the store, for example. You hold the door for her. It's no big deal. You hold the door for her. The general type of kindness and goodness that you're going to treat every human being with. Decency. You see somebody in a bad situation and you can help them, then you strive to help them. They don't have to be a Muslim. You can help them. Now, he says, مما يدخل في هذا, for what enters into this, أن يعاش الخلق بحسب منازلهم, is that you deal with the people in proportion to their status and their level. في الكبير له التوقير والاحترام. So the elder, for example, he has the right upon you of respect. You're going to respect him because he's an elder, right? It's known that some of the ulama, for example, of Sirah, they consider Hassan and Hussein, the two grandsons of the Prophet ﷺ, they were twins. Some of them say they were twins, and Hassan was the twin that was born first. So on the account of that, Hussein would show him tawqir. Hussein would respect him. He would not enter doors before him and the likes of this because he was born a few minutes before him. A few minutes. So how much more so someone who is your elder by years, decades, and the likes of this, right? And so we show proper respect and veneration to our elders. وَالصَّغِيرُ يُعَامِلُهُ بِالرَّحْمَةِ وَرِقَّةِ الْمُنَاسَبَةِ لِحَالِهِ. And the younger person, one who's younger than you deal with this person by way of mercy, displaying mercy and softness in proportion to his condition. وَالنَّظِيرُ يُعَامِلُهُ بِمَا يَجِبْ أَنْ يُعَامِلُهُ بِهِ. And the one who's your peer, who's on your same level, whether it be in age or what have you, then you deal with him with what is appropriate for the likes of him to be dealt with. وَلِلْأُمْ حَقٌّ خَاص بِهَا. And the mother, she has a right that is specific to her. Your mother has a right that is specific to her and how she should be dealt with. Now, وَلِلْزَوْجَ حَقٌّ آخَرٍ. And the wife, she has another right. And your wife has another right. وَيُعَامَلْ مَنْ يَدُولُ عَلَيْهِ وَيُثَقْ بِهِ وَيَثِقُ بِهِ وَيَتَوَسَّعْ مَعَهُ مَا لَا يَعْمَلْ بِهِ مَنْ لَا يَثِقْ بِهِ وَلَا يَدُولُ عَلَيْهِ. And you have those who, there is something which would lead you to put trust in this person. Someone who's trustworthy, has a good history. Someone who has good dealings, who's known for goodness. You're going to treat him with what his status and that ma'rifah that you have of him, that what you know about him, you treat him with what is appropriate for this particular person, the likes of what you're not going to treat other than him, one who's not like him with. ويتكلم مع الملوك وأرباب الرؤساء بالكلام اللين المناسب لمراتبهم. And those who are, for example, kings and those who have positions of leadership, you want to speak to them with kalam, with speech that is layyin, that is soft, that is appropriate for their level. نعم ولهذا قال تعالى لموسى وهارون. Due to this, Allah Ta'ala said to Musa and Harun, اذهبا إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقولا له قولا لينا لعله يتذكر أو يخشى. Allah Ta'ala says, go. He said to Musa and Fir'aun, go to Fir'aun. Indeed, he has transgressed. And قولوا له, say to him or speak to him, قولا لينا, a soft word. And there's no kafir on the face of the earth that was worse than Fir'aun. From back then all the way up to now, there's no bigger kafir than Fir'aun. And Allah Azza wa Jal knew that he wasn't going to believe. He knew that he was not going to believe. Yet and still, he said, say to him a goodly word. Say to him a soft and mild word. Now speak to him with speech that is indicative of his leadership. He's in a position of leadership. Now, how much more so someone who is a leader amongst the Muslims? And the leaders amongst the Muslims are of two categories. They are the ulama and the umara. They are the scholars, those who have knowledge. They are the leaders of this ummah. And likewise, the umara, and those who are in positions of leadership over the country and the land and the likes of this. Which brings us to this point. He says, وَيُعَامِلْ الْعُلَمَاء بِالتَّوْقِيرِ وَالْإِجْلَالِ وَالتَّعَلُّمِ. And the scholars, how are they to be dealt with? How are they to be dealt with? There is this phenomenon that we see in this day and time, that if a scholar, from the scholars of Sunnah, known alim, ulama, ahl sunnah wa jama'ah, if they speak against someone that we like, then it's as though their scholarship is removed from them. They're no longer Sheikh so-and-so. They become Bukhari. They become just, Rabi'. And like this, because they speak against or they are not in agreement with somebody that we happen to like. This is disrespectful. It's not what we've been cultivated upon. It's not what we learn from the proper dealings with the ulama of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Right? They keep their status. It's even in the ulama how they dealt with each other when they differed regarding issues. Sheikh bin Baz would differ with Sheikh Al-Albani on an issue, and he may even refute him on an issue. But he refutes him with respect. Our Sheikh, our brother, Sheikh Al-Albani has erred. Our brother, Sheikh bin Baz, he has erred in this issue. What is correct is A, B, C, and D. Not the likes of this you see from the people today on social media and the like. Bukhari, and this one and that one, and they just remove Sheikh from his name. He's just, a regular Joe Schmo in the masjid now. This is not the proper respect that we learned and that we were cultivated upon for years, and how we're supposed to deal with our ulama, even when we differ with them. And we don't declare our scholars to be infallible. The scholars are not infallible. They are human beings, and they are subject to error. But when they err, this is how we talk to them. This is how we deal with them. We deal with them with respect. We deal with them with the proper veneration that they are due. One, out of respect for that which they carry from knowledge, out of respect for the sunnah, because the ulama, warathatul anbiya, the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. This doesn't go out the window when they differ with us, or they hold an opinion that's different than the opinion that we hold regarding any given issue, right? And so the scholars, they are dealt with tawqir, with respect, with ijlal, with veneration, وَتَعَلُّمْ, and we learn from them and benefit from them. وَتَوَاضُعْ لَهُمْ, and that we humble ourselves to them. Now, with har al-iftiqar wal-haja ila ilmihim al-nafi', and that we display need for the beneficial knowledge which they carry. وَكَثْرَةُ الدُّعَاء لَهُمْ, and that we make an abundance of dua for them. خُصُوصًا وَقْتَ تَعْلِيمِهِمْ وَفَتْوَاهُمْ الْخَاصَّةَ وَالْعَامَّةَ, especially at the time wherein we are learning from them and they are issuing fatwa for us. We come to them and we seek a fatwa from them. We ask a question to them, and we follow that question up by saying barakallahu feekum, jazakumullahu khaira, the likes of this, make dua for them. نعم ومن ذلك أمر الصغير بالخير ونحيهم عن الشر بالرفق والترغيب. And from that as well is to command the children, those who are smaller, the youth, with excuse me, no, command them with that which is good, and to prohibit them from that which is evil, with gentleness and encouragement. وبذل ما يناسب من الدنيا لتنشيطهم, and likewise that you exert or you give to them something of the dunya to encourage them. You may give them a reward. Okay, you do this, you get a reward. Right? You do this, you complete that surah, you complete this portion of the Quran. I have something for you, I have a gift for you. Give them something from the dunya to encourage them. Now, he says, now, and to direct them towards goodness. واجتناب العنف القولي والفعلي, and that you avoid harshness, being harsh with the children in terms of statement or action. ولهذا قال صلى الله عليه وسلم مروا أولادكم بالصلاة للسبع. This the Prophet said, alayhi salam, command the children to pray when they are 7. سنين وَضْرِبُوهُمْ عَلَيْهَا لِعَشْرٍ, and physically discipline them, spank them about the prayer when they are 10. Now these ages that have been demarcated by the Prophet here, alayhi salam, are 7 and 10 on the Hijri calendar, not the Gregorian calendar. 10 on the Hijri calendar, they should be praying, and a prayer is obligatory for them by the time they reach that. So it's incumbent upon us to know our children's Hijri birthday, because they're going to be 10 on the Hijri calendar before they are 10 on the Gregorian calendar. About 2 months and a half before they are 10 on the Gregorian calendar. So if you were to wait, for example, until they are 10 on the Gregorian calendar to command them to pray and make them start praying, they will have missed approximately 500 salawat that were obligatory upon them due to the parents' negligence in knowing their Hijri birthdays. Right? So know your child's Hijri birthday. You can figure it out. There are Hijri date calculators online that you can find. You can put their Gregorian birthday in it. It'll tell you the Hijri birthday. It's more accurate, especially when it's going backwards than it would be quite obviously going forward. Right? And so these ages have been demarcated within the Sunnah of our beloved Prophet alayhi salam. So at the age of 7 on the Hijri calendar, you accustom to prayer. You accustom your children to prayer. You command them to pray, teach them the rulings of salah, teach them how to perform wudu properly, and the likes of this. You bring them to the masjid with you, especially if they are at the age of maturity wherein they can sit down. When you tell them to sit down, they're not going to be, bouncing off the walls in the masjid like this. They will listen to you. Bring them. But if they were to miss a prayer or here, a prayer or two here or there, you don't be too harsh with them, right? At this age, but just get them used to the concept of praying. But when they hit 10 on the Hijri calendar, it is obligatory, because the Prophet said, وَضْرِبُوهُمْ عَلَيْهَا لِعَشْرٍ, and he spanked them about the prayer once they hit 10. So by way of this, we see, and it's what's mentioned by At-Tirmidhi as well, that this is the age wherein salat becomes obligatory. Salat is different in nature than the other actions, like fasting, for example. Fasting becomes obligatory when they hit what? Puberty. When they hit puberty, right? That's when it becomes obligatory. The salah, 10 years old. Salah, 10 years old. Now, and this is what the many of the scholars of the Salaf held. Now, otherwise, it would not be permissible to beat them. You can't physically discipline somebody and reprimand somebody about something that's not wajib, right? At any rate, كذلك سلك رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم مع المؤلفة قلوبهم. This is how the Prophet ﷺ, he would join the hearts together. He would deal with those who he was trying to join their hearts together. من إعطاء الدنيوي الكثير ما يحصل به التأليف. So he would give away, for example, the dunya. He would give away dunya affairs, money, camels, the likes of this. He would give this stuff away freely in order to bring the people's hearts in, right? Those who may have been kind of on the fringe. Some people, that's all that drives them, money and the likes of this, right? They won't be motivated unless they get money. And so if the Prophet he saw that a person was like this, he would give them the money. Who cares about his dunya? Allah doesn't care about it. Give them the money, bring them in. But he would withhold from those who he know hearts were sincere. They didn't need that. They didn't need that money motivation. They're going to be there no matter what. So he would withhold this from them. The companions, they would see that. They would say, Mashallah, what about so-and-so? Like, think about the narration in which the Prophet he was giving out some of the sadaqah. And one of the Sahaba, he saw that one particular person didn't get that much. And he said that he cannot keep quiet due to what he knew about this person. So he said, "O Messenger of Allah, what about so-and-so? By Allah, I know he's a believer." The Prophet said, "Oh, perhaps just a Muslim." The companion, Sahabi didn't understand. He said, so he sat for a while, but he could not keep quiet due to what he knew about this person. He was good as a good man. He said, "O Messenger of Allah, what about so-and-so? By Allah, I know he's a believer." The Prophet said, "Well, perhaps just a Muslim." So the Sahabi did still understand. The Prophet explained to him. He said, "Perhaps I will give to one, even though another is more beloved to me. This person may be more beloved to me, but I'll give it to this person, even though I love him more." Right? Out of fear that if I gave him, then perhaps it would be a cause for his entering into the fire. Now, so the dunya, yani, who cares about it? It's nothing but dunya. It comes and it goes. Right? So the Prophet, he would give it away. He would give it away in order to bring the hearts of the people in, those who needed that. Now, وَيُرَتَّبْ عَلَيْهِ مِنَ الْمَصَالِحِ, and due to what he saw that it will bring about from benefits. وَلَمْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ مَعَ مَنْ هُوَ مَعْرُوفٌ بِالْإِيمَانِ. He will not do the same with those who he know, those who are known to have iman. Those who are known to have faith, they didn't need that money motivation. They were there. They were there anyway. Now, those who had iman as-sadiq, tanzilan linnas manazilahum, and all of this was to put the people in their proper positions and status. وكذلك مخاطب الزوجة والأولاد الصغار بخطاب اللائق بهم الذي فيه بسطهم وإدخال السرور عليهم. Similarly is the affair of how you speak to your wife. Speaking to the wife, speaking to your children with speech that is appropriate for them, that will enter upon them, that will bring about openness of their chest, and it will bring happiness and joy to them. And you speak to them with goodly words and kind words. And these words, they don't cost much. They're free. Right? To say a kind word is free. Now, and so speaking to your spouse and speaking to your children with words that are good. وَكَذَلِكَ مَنْ وَمِنْ تَنْزِيلِ النَّاسِ مَنَازِلَهُمْ. Similarly, from the examples of putting the people in their proper positions is أن تجعل الوظائف الدينية والدنيوية وممتزجة منهما للأكفاء المتميزين, is giving posts and positions, whether they are religious posts and positions or worldly posts and positions, or those positions that are a combination of both. Right? You give these type of positions to those who are suitable for it. Those who are suitable for it, and those who are distinguished with certain characteristics that would make them suitable for their post or their position. الذين يفضلون غيرهم في ولاية تلك الوظيفة. Those who are over and above other than them. Those who are over and above other than them from within the characteristics that would make them suitable for that job. معلوم أن ولاية الملك أن الواجب فيها. So it is known, for example, that when it comes down to sovereignty or kingship, being the king of a country, right? He said, then what is obligatory as it relates to that specifically, and other than that, generally, is mushawara ahl al-hil wal-aqd fi tawliya man yuslih laha. Is that when it comes down to trying to decide who's going to be the leader of the country, that you consult what's called ahl al-hil wal-aqd. That's the influential people within your cabinet or your land or what have you, right? Those who are known for righteousness, those who are known for deen. It's not like it's not like a democracy, right? In democracy, the problem with democracy is that it makes the word of the righteous scholar to be equal to the word of the alcoholic, right? Their statement is equal. We're all gonna, we all have say in who's gonna be the leadership, who's gonna be in a position of leadership. So one may appoint someone on the basis of race. One may appoint someone on the basis of, I like the way he talks, and the likes of this, not on the basis of suitability, right? And so this is the problem with it. Everyone is equal. Everyone's statement holds the same amount of weight. You may have the upright student of knowledge. His statement means as much as the homosexual, right? So this is the problem with it. But in the Islamic society, if you have what's called Ahl al-Hal wal-Aqd, the influential people, those are the ones whose opinion matters. The people of righteousness, people of deen, people of uprightness, those who are known for sagacity and and intelligence, they are the ones we consult when it comes down to things like this, electing who's going to be our leaders and so on and so forth. This is what you find amongst the Sahaba, right? That they held consultation amongst themselves. Even when Umar passed away, radiallahu anhu, or when he was stabbed, Abu Lul al-Majusi, he put together the shura, and all of them were from the 10 that were promised paradise. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, Ali, Uthman, the likes of them, the senior Sahaba, right? They came together and they selected the leader, the next leader from amongst themselves. Now, and so this tradition of consulting Ahl Hal wa Aqd, this ensures that the one that is appointed for the position of leadership is going to be someone who is suitable. Now, and so they select the one who is suitable for the position. Mimman jama'a baina, from those who combine between certain characteristics, such as strength. He has strength that is sufficient to administer justice. Now, and he has courageousness. He has forbearance. He knows siyasa. He knows how to deal politically with different countries and other leaders and so on and so forth. He knows how to deal with that. الداخلية والخارجية, the internal and external politics. ومن له القوة الكافية لتنفيذ العدل. He has the strength necessary to administer justice. وإيصال الحقوق إلى أهلها. He has the strength as well to give the people their rights. وردع الظلمة والمجرمين, and to repel oppression and criminals. وغير ذلك مما يدخل في الولاية, other than that, from that which enters into leadership. وكذلك ولاية القضاء, similarly when it comes down to appointing judges, يختار لها الأعلى بالشرع وبالواقع, then we choose in relation to judgeship and those who are most knowledgeable regarding the legislation and everyday affairs. Al-Afdal fi dinihi, the one who is best in terms of his deen and his intellect and praiseworthy characteristics. كذلك ولاية الإمامة في المساجد في الجمعة والجماعة. Similarly, when it comes down to picking an imam for the masjid, one who is going to lead the Jumu'ah prayer and the congregational prayer, يختار لها الأعلى بأحكام العبادات الأتقى. We choose for this post the one who is the most knowledgeable regarding the rulings of worship, and they have the taqwa of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. ثم الأمثل فالأمثل. Then you look for those who are maybe second to them, and those who are second to them, and so on and so forth. You don't have one who is near to perfection, right? Then you look to the one who has who's at least close to that, then one who's close to that, and so on and so forth. وكذلك, similarly, when it comes down to leadership of the army, brothers, y'all just keep it down. We're having a class, okay? When it comes down to leadership of the military, يختار لها أهل القوة والشجاعة. We choose for the military to be the leader of the military, those who have strength and those who have courageousness. والرأي والنصر, those who have sound judgment. They know the stratagems of war and so on and so forth, right? And they have sincerity in their heart for the Muslims. والمعرفة لفنون الحرب, and they are knowledgeable regarding the science of war and its stratagems. وما يتبع ذلك مما تتوقف عليه هذه الوظيفة المهمة التي هي من أهم الوظائف واختارها. And whatever follows on from that, that which is connected to this greatly important post and position, which is from the most important positions and the most serious of them. إلى غير ذلك من الولايات الكبار والصغار. And other than that, from those different types of appointments and positions, whether they are larger positions in scope or smaller positions. فإنها داخلة في قوله تعالى, all the enters into the statement of Allah Azza wa Jal, إن الله يأمركم أن تؤدوا الأمانات إلى أهلها. Indeed, Allah commands you to render the trust to those who are suitable for it. Give the post and position to those who are suitable for the post and positions. وهذه الولايات من أعظم الأمانات. And these posts that he mentioned, these examples that As-Sa'di mentioned, are from the greatest of trusts, that of leadership over the land, that of the imamates over the masjid, that of leadership over the army. Whether one is in charge of the money of the masjid, whether one is in charge of the building of the masjid, whether one is in charge, whatever he may be in charge of, you give those posts to people who are suitable for them. And there are characteristics that one has to have in order to fill those positions. Now, هذه عفوا, he says, نعم وأن يوظف فيها أهل الكفاءة بها, and that those who are employed to take these positions should be those who are suitable for it. وكل وظيفة لها أكفاء مختصون, and every post has people that specialize in it. وهو داخل في هذا الحديث الشريف, and it enters into this noble prophetic hadith. كذلك يدخل في ذلك معاملة العصاة والمجرمين. Similarly, what enters into the hadith is how we deal with the people of sins and how we deal with criminals. We deal with them like as criminals should be dealt with. We deal with them as sinners should be dealt with. And generally speaking, Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned that you look at the people of sin from two angles. One is the Shari'i angle, right, from the angle of the legislation, and the second is from the angle of the qadar, of the divine decree of Allah Azza wa Jal. When you look at them from the angle of the legislation, right, then they are blameworthy, and they deserve whatever they get a punishment. When you look at them from that angle, from the divine decree angle, right, then you understand that this is what Allah has decreed for that person, and you are thankful that Allah didn't decree it for you, and you will feel sorry for that person from that angle, right? You feel remorseful, you feel sorry for them from that angle, right? So this is the balance that we look at the sinners and the people of crime and criminality with. فمن رتب الشارع على جرمه عقوبة من حد ونحوه. So those who the legislation has set up a punishment for his crime or for his sin or whatever he has done, from a prescribed punishment or other than it, from ta'zir and the likes of this, to ayyan ma ayyanahu shari, then we are to implement that which the legislation has stipulated, right? So the thief, for example, his hand is cut. The fornicator, and if he's a fornicator that is married or has ever been married, he gets the stone, right? And so on and so forth, right? The one who consumes intoxicants, they are lashed, they are whipped. And like this is what the Sharia has set in place and is stipulated for these crimes. Now, so these punishments must be implemented. لأنه هو عين مصلحة العامة والشاملة, because to implement these punishments, these prescribed punishments, this is what brings about an overwhelming benefit. It brings about benefit for the land in general, for these punishments to be implemented. ومن لم يعين له عقوبة, and for whoever commits a crime that there is not a specific punishment stipulated in the legislation for him, عُذِرَ بِحَسَبْ حَالِهِ وَمَقَامِهِ, then he is to get what's called a ta'zir. A ta'zir is a discretionary punishment. This punishment is at the discretion of the Muslim leader, right? It can be a fine, it can be imprisonment, it can be whatever he sees fit. It could be reprimand, it could be admonishment, whatever is suitable for this particular person. His punishment is at the discretion of the leader, that is called a ta'zir. Now, فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَكْفِيهِ التَّوْبِيخ. So from amongst them are those who to censure them is enough. All you gotta do is censure them and rebuke them with kalam al-munasib li-fa'alatihi, and speech that is appropriate for whatever he has done. مِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَا يَرْجَعْهُ إِلَّا الْعُقُوبَةَ الْبَلِيغَةَ. And from amongst them are those who nothing is going to stop them except a harsh and severe punishment. So something more harsh has to be done with certain people. كذلك في الصدقة والهدية. Similarly is the affair of sadaqah and gift giving. And so everyone is not on the same level in what they deserve of gifts, right? And this is yani, this is what our legislation necessitates, right? I posted something a while ago that some of the sisters had a big problem with, and it's the fact that yani, if a man has multiple wives, he does not have to give the same gift to all of his wives. He does not have to give, because gift giving is connected to the affair of the heart, and it's known that the heart, the hearts are between the things of Ar-Rahman. The heart may incline this way, the heart may incline that way. If the heart inclines this way, he gives the gift that way. Heart inclines that way, he gives the gift over here. He's not obligated to give a gift to each one of his wives similarly, right? Because everyone doesn't deserve the same gift. Everyone doesn't deserve the same gift or level of gifts. And so he says that, some people are such that, when it comes down to a gesture or small gift, maybe give them a couple dates and they're happy. Give them a few dates and they're happy. Or a few morsels of food and the likes of this. He says, like for example, if you give to someone who's poor and in need, he's in dire need, then anything that you may give this person, it will suffice the person. As opposed to someone who may be affluent, he may be rich, and you want to give a rich person a gift. You're not going to give him the same type of gift you would give to the poor person. Now, he says that, and for example, you have gift giving to someone, and this is a very important point. You may have a poor person, right? A person who's in a hard situation, but this is not his asl. Aslan, he's well to do, but he fell upon a hard time, and now he may be in need of you. Don't deal with him based upon his current situation. Don't deal with him like he's poor. Don't deal with him and treat him as though he's poor, right? You treat him based upon his origin. His origin is that he's normally up, or she's normally up. They normally don't have to ask, right? So don't shame them because now they're in a bad financial position, right? As the Prophet said, this is the narration mentions rather, irhamu aziza qawmidal. He says, irhamu, be mercy upon the aziz of his people, the one who was, and he's normally one who was well-to-do amongst his people, but he has been humbled. His situation, it declined. But he's normally up. Treat him as though he's still up and deal with him based upon mercy. كذلك يميز من له آثار وسوابق وغناء والنفع للمسلمين على ما من ليس كذلك. He says similarly, the one who he has a good background, he has a good history, and one who is affluent, normally he's wealthy, and he brings benefit to the people amongst the Muslims, deal with him differently than a person who's not like that. He doesn't have a good history. He doesn't have a good background. He's not good to the Muslims, right? You're going to deal with him differently than you would treat the aforementioned person. فهذه الأمور وما أشبهها داخلة في هذا الكلام الجامع الذي تواطأ عليه الشرع والعقل. He says, so these issues and whatever resembles them enter into this comprehensive speech, which corresponds completely with the legislation and with sound intellect. وما رآه المسلمون حسنا فهو عند الله حسن. And whatever the Muslims normally deem to be good in general, then it is good with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the end of Asadi's speech. Sheikh Ubay, he has light comments here, very short comments. He says, هنا تنبيه مناسب للطلاب العلم الذين يعقدون المجالس لبني قومهم. He says that, here is a tanbih that's appropriate for the students of knowledge, those who hold gatherings for their people. And children as well as elders and those who have status all attend his gathering. فيه تنبيه إلى أن تقرب. In this lies a point of attention that certain people, that the student should bring them closer to himself. It brings them closer to himself, such as those who have status. وتقرب كبار السن, and he brings those who are elders, he brings them near to himself and is kind to them. وتدنيهم, and you bring them close to yourself. وتخصهم بخطاب خاص, and you deal with them, you speak to them with a specific type of speech. فإن هذا سبيل إلى أن يحبوك. This is the path to bring them to love you, and to put their trust in you. فَوْسِيكُمْ بَارَكَ اللَّهُ فِيكُمْ. And this is the speech of Shaykh Ubay al-Jabir and how he cultivates the students of knowledge and how to deal with the people. All right, this is what we learn from our scholars. This is how you deal with people, and this is what the scholars teach you and how to deal with people. All right, so the student of knowledge, he should deal with the people like this. He says that, now, so I advise you, may Allah bless you, that that you give importance in general, that you give due importance to the common folk. فإن عوام المسلمين إذا وجدوا من طالب علم الرحمة والعطف والشفقة, for the common people, when they find from the student of knowledge mercy, they find that he's merciful, that he's compassionate, that he's kind, he's humble, he's generous, and he's pleasant to deal with. أحبوه وكانوا معه. They're going to love him, and they will be along with him. They will be with him. وإذا وجدوا فيه العنف, and when they find from him harshness and sternness, and that he's dry, نفروا منه. They're going to run away from him. وَنَفَرَا مِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ, and likewise others will leave along with them. Now, so this is how, in general, the student of knowledge should be with the people. Anyone who ascribes himself to ilm, this is how you should be with the people. We stop here. Allah Ta'ala knows best. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.